So the most scariest part of UPSC preparation begins now. Why? Well, we are just about 90 days away from prelims. Roundabout, roughly 90 days away from prelims. And the question is, well, you know what to do. You have all the material. Maybe you have, maybe you don't. But you know what to study, what not to study. You need to practice MCQs. You need to cover current affairs. You know all these details. But the big question is, how? This big question, how? This simple one-word question, how? Is hanging like a sword of Damocles over your head. It is your Achilles heel. Yes, your room is full of notes. Your room is full of, well, current affairs, everything, MCQs, PYQs, everything. But how to cover all of them in a systematic manner so that you ace your prelims this time around. And not just ace it, so that you clear your prelims with such a margin that you don't have to wait for the cutoff. You begin your mains preparation right then. You don't waste precious time. You have to prepare, or you have to brace yourself for these next 90 days like that. And for that, you need to design a proper system. You have all the details, but if these details are not covered in a proper systematic manner, if all these study resources are not covered in a proper systematic manner, you'll be overwhelmed. All of this would be there spread out in your room. You will be overwhelmed. So I'm here about to tell you that there is a technique, there is a strategy, in fact, there is a blueprint that would save you from being overwhelmed. Now, today I'm going to share with you a 90-day blueprint for prelims. Okay, it will cover everything. Everything, like everything. Okay, I'm repeating everything again because whatever is required for prelims, your entire static portion, your entire current affairs, your MCQs, everything. If you'll follow this 90-day strategy to its very core, well, let me tell you, you would have revised your entire syllabus, plus you would have practiced more than 7,000 MCQs. And we all know that knowledge doesn't help in prelims examination. It's the MCQ practice that helps you, because MCQs have a twofold purpose. Number one, well, they help you remember whatever you have just studied. If you get a question wrong, it hits your ego, and therefore it generates an emotional response in your brain, and you get to remember it till your prelims examination. And number two, well, when you practice a lot of MCQs, your chances of committing silly mistakes in prelims examination reduces. You all know about this. You all must have faced this, that in prelims examination, most of the times you know the answer to the question, but because of some silly mistake, you did not read which of the following statements are not correct. This not word just skipped your eye and you committed a silly mistake. Well, your chances of committing silly mistakes would drop dramatically if you practice more than 7,000 MCQs. So through this 90-day strategy, you'll get to precisely do that. So listen to me very carefully, okay? Because I'm going to take a few minutes of your time, but this 90-day strategy would save you. I mean, it would secure a rank for you, okay? At least secure prelims examination for you so that you are in the fighting spot for securing a rank. Make sense, right? So listen to me carefully. So I'm going to explain the 90-day study plan. But just 1 minute before that, okay? I'm about to start. 1 minute. Before you begin on this 90-day journey, this sacred 90-day journey, which will serve you really well. Before you begin this, well, I want to quote Elon Musk over here. And it's very important for you to understand this. And I know because of the recent Epstein Files controversy, well, Elon Musk is not that popular among many people. But still, we have to agree, he is really successful. So there are certain things which he says which are important, right? Now, Elon Musk says that, well, when you're about to go for your goal, okay, when you are on the path of achieving your goal, well, do the tasks with a sense of urgency. Now, I'm not saying panic, but urgency. Similarly, for these 90 days, well, bring that sense of urgency in you. I hope you understand. I'm not saying that be all anxious and in that panic mode. I'm not saying that at all. But don't be lazy. Don't be complacent. Okay? With a sense of urgency, follow each and every day of this 90-day strategy, because we have mapped out each and every day of this 90-day strategy. Okay? So with a sense of urgency, follow Elon Musk this one time only. Okay? Some of you, I understand, are not big fans of Elon Musk, but this one time, just follow this thing, this quote of his, that go with a sense of urgency and you shall definitely come out successful on the other side of, on the 91st day. Okay? So with that in mind, remember, we have designed almost the perfect system, because it took a lot of days for us to design this perfect system. So we have put in a lot of thought in it. So it is a very good system. If you follow it blindly, religiously, you'll definitely clear your prelims examination. Just follow it properly, okay, diligently, and with a sense of urgency. All right? Okay, then. Let me explain what is this 90-day plan. How should you go about your prelims preparation? Now, remember, this 90-day plan is for those people who have at least covered their syllabus once, or have at least read something about UPSC, or read certain subjects of UPSC, okay, who are in the revision mode. Okay, yes, there might be some freshers, but I'm sure those freshers are well targeting 2027 examination. But yes, even if your preparation, your syllabus is partially complete, not complete, partially complete, this 90-day study plan would be relevant for you. You just have to follow it to its very core. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so UPSC Prelims 2026 90-day blueprint. Okay, now I will map out each and every day of this 90-day blueprint. Okay, from day 1 till day 90. Everything would be covered. But just to tell you, just to give you a brief introduction as to what are the key ingredients for a successful prelims preparation. Okay, what do you need to clear prelims? Okay, so these are the basic ingredients. We are actually borrowing from the recipe of a chef. Okay, so these are the basic ingredients. So for preparing for prelims, okay, or preparing for prelims, you need an exhaustive revision strategy or schedule for 90 days. Okay, 90 days are enough, by the way. That's why we have begun the date chosen for this 90-day strategy was chosen so that we have 90 days only. All right. So you need an exhaustive revision for 90 days. Okay. For these are the basic ingredients. This is ingredient number 1, exhaustive revision for 90 days. Revision is important because you tend to forget most of the things, whatever you have studied. Okay. So revision solidifies these things into your memory. All right. Then, well, to remember, there is another thing, and that is plethora of MCQs. Plethora means abundance of MCQs. And in this 90-day strategy, I would make you practice more than 7,000 MCQs. Because MCQs, like I mentioned before, have a dual purpose. Purpose number 1, memory. You know, on a sidetrack, let me tell you this. You see, many people have broken Guinness Book of Records for memorizing certain things. You must have heard the names of these people, okay? That he broke Guinness Book of Records, Limca Book of Records, because he can remember. He is the memory master. Now, when these memory masters were interviewed, well, people ask this usual question that how can you remember so many things, okay, in such a short span of time? Now, their answer, plus a lot of research in Harvard University and Stanford University revealed that the brain tends to remember only those things, not only, but tends to remember those things more vividly if those things have basically generated an emotional response. Okay, so those memories which generated happiness, sadness, anger, frustration, all these things tend to stick in your brain for longer periods of time, right? Now, by practicing MCQs, by practicing tests, if you get a question right, you get this feeling of euphoria. Dopamine rushes in your bloodstream. This euphoric feeling is an emotional response. So that MCQ or that piece of information gets stuck in your brain. So this is there. But the bigger thing is that when you get a question wrong, it hits your ego. You really feel sad. You really feel bad. It hits your ego. And if you got that question wrong because of a silly mistake, you definitely won't repeat that silly mistake, okay? Because it hits your ego. And that is a very bad state or emotional state. So you will remember that information also. So whether you get a question right or wrong, you will remember it if you have practiced an MCQ from it. Okay, that is why we practice a lot of MCQs. And the reason why we have chosen this number 7,000, because through 7,000 MCQs, you would cover each and every part of your syllabus. Okay, almost each and every part of your syllabus, key pieces of information would be covered. Hence 7,000 MCQs. So for memory. And the second reason is practice. Practice makes a man perfect. This cliched quote that is circulated everywhere in schools, colleges. Well, people tend to ignore it because it's now a cliche, but it's still relevant. Practice is very important. Your chances of committing silly mistakes would drop down, as I mentioned before. Okay, so plethora of MCQs. Then sectional tests, because once you have completed polity, you need to cover it through a sectional test of polity. Then same for economics, same for history, all of that. Plus full mock test. Full mock test that covers your entire syllabus. This is extremely important. So these are the basic ingredients. And yes, they might seem simple. Okay, 1, 2, 3, just 3 things you have to do. But they actually, if you unpack them, they are a lot. You tend to get overwhelmed. Okay, Now, all the big tech companies, their CEOs, their masters, their captains, well, they basically have this saying, okay, which is relevant for us. Well, they say that if your goal is gigantic, if your goal is big, design proper systems. If you need to do a lot of things in a short span of time, you have to cover a lot of things in these 90 days. Well, design proper systems so that you cover very small number of tasks every day. Very small number of tasks every day. For that, you need to design an intelligent system. Systems design is very important. And systems design, actually by that I mean schedule and timetable. Just make a rigid yet a little bit flexible timetable and follow it rigidly. And this would do the job no matter how big the challenge is for these 90 days, no matter how many study materials you have to cover in these 90 days. A proper, intelligently designed system would cover everything. Okay? And by the way, there are some people who are good in CSAT. They're not worried about qualifying for CSAT, but there are some people who think CSAT is challenging. Okay? And plus, over the past few years, UPSC has started to make the CSAT paper a little bit more challenging to qualify. Therefore, in this 90-day strategy, we will cover CSAT as well. Some minutes of your day would be dedicated to CSAT so that at least you qualify this paper, so that you don't feel bad that you cleared the cutoff for GS, but you failed in CSAT. That is a terrible feeling to have. Okay? So we would save you from this terrible feeling. All right? Now, how to go about it? What is the system that I am talking about? Okay? So hear me out carefully. This is the important part. So now, the thing is that you have round about 90 days. Okay. Now, if you remove Sundays from these 90 days, and I'll tell you why I'm removing Sundays. Okay. It's important because Sundays are reserved for a particular thing in your preparation. So I'll talk about it. If you remove Sundays, you have round about 70 to 75 days. Around 75 days, let's say. Okay. Now, what you have to do is divide your entire syllabus for GS into 75 parts. Okay, divide your entire syllabus into 75 parts. That's what you have to do. Okay, and for every subject, I'll tell you how to divide also. Don't worry. Now, on day 1, you will revise part 1. You will revise the notes of part 1. So, for example, your day 1 targets are, let's suppose, making of the Constitution, preamble, citizenship. Let's suppose these are your day 1 targets. So you will revise these 3 topics entirely, and then you will practice 30 plus MCQs from it. Plus some PYQs also. PYQs are important. You already know that. Okay. You will do this. So you will do revision, and then through 30 MCQs, you will do revision 2.0. All right. Some PYQs as well. Day 1 is done. Now, day 2. Let's suppose on day 2, your topics were fundamental rights, DPSPs, and fundamental duties. Let's suppose that was your target. You revise it. You revise part 2, 30 MCQs, 30 plus MCQs, plus some PYQs, and so on and so forth. Appears simple, okay? But this division part is a little challenging, so I'll unpack that also. But you understand the basic idea. You have 90 days, remove Sundays, divide your syllabus into parts. Day 1, part 1, practice MCQs. Day 2, part 2, do this. Continue this from Monday to Saturday. Okay, continue this from Monday to Saturday, and let's come to Sundays now. On Sunday, give a full test. 100 MCQ test. Because we need to practice spending 2 hours solving these 100 MCQs from now onwards. Okay, 100 MCQ test. Done. Then from next Monday, you'll be covering day 7, day 8, day 9, and then Sunday. So from now onwards, reserve your Sundays for tests alone. Okay, and divide this into parts. Now, how to divide into parts? Okay, so these are your subjects as far as prelims is concerned. Okay, we are only talking about prelims over here. Now, in broad terms, you have polity to cover, geography to cover, history to cover, which includes ancient medieval culture and modern history, economics to cover, science and technology, and environment. And yes, you definitely have current affairs, and I'll explain how to cover current affairs parallelly. Don't worry about it. Now, polity can be divided into 12 parts. We have divided polity into 12 parts. We'll share the schedule with you. Geography is divided into 12 parts. History is divided into 18 parts. So 9 parts for modern history, 9 parts for ancient medieval culture. Economics And economics is very important, so it is divided into 12 parts. Science and technology is divided into 6 parts. And environment, since UPSC tends to ask a lot of questions from environment alone, well, you have to give due respect to environment also. So this is also 12 parts. Okay, 12 parts. And now you know how to cover it. Let's suppose you are starting with economics, because we are going to start with economics. Okay, some people find economics challenging, that is why. So let's suppose you're starting with economics. So day 1, part 1, MCQs, day 2, part 2, MCQs, so on and so forth, and Sunday, test. Then next 6 days, Monday to Saturday, day 7, 8 till 12, again a test. Okay, so overall, economics would be covered in 14 days. 12 days of parts, 12 parts, and 2 Sundays. You understand? And so on and so forth. You will cover like this. Make sense? All right. So this is a proper system, because through this system, you are going to practice a lot of MCQs from those topics only. You will cover a topic and then practice MCQs from it. You will cover a topic, then practice MCQs from it. And don't worry, we will provide you topic-wise, chapter-wise segregated MCQs and PYQs. So don't you worry about that. But that's how you'll go about things. Okay, this is important, because you'll see this. After first 14 days, when you'll cover economics, you'll feel so confident in economics that I can conquer anything as far as economics is concerned. Trust me on this. Okay, so this is how you'll go about things, right? Now, the big question is, what about current affairs? Because, well, current affairs forms a big chunk of your prelims examination. So along with these parts, while you'll be covering these parts, okay, by the way, these parts totally add up to around 70 to 75 parts only. So remember this, right? So we are going as per the schedule. Now, the big Achilles heel for many people, okay, current affairs. So we will cover current affairs parallelly, okay? You have to cover current affairs parallelly. Now, for you guys, we have compiled all the current affairs and we have compiled them subject-wise. You must be familiar with these PT 365 documents, right? So we have done this for you. The current affairs are compiled subject-wise, all current affairs. Remember, you don't have to go to any other source if you're following these current affairs. We have taken current affairs from every source. No need to look outside, just follow this. Okay, keep your preparation nice, clean, minimalist. Okay, don't scatter your preparation. Your study material shouldn't be scattered. Your study room shouldn't look scattered. Nice, clean, minimalist notes, properly segregated, that would do. So don't scatter your resources by following current affairs from multiple sources. You understand? Just follow this. Everything would be covered. Trust me on this. Okay. So what we have done is your current affairs, well, we have segregated them subject-wise, all current affairs till December 2025. Okay. So all your current affairs till December 2025 would be covered in the first phase. In the second phase, well, January 2026 to April 2026. This would come later because these current affairs are ongoing. So we would cover this. This would be called addendum, current affairs addendum. Okay, when you'll see the schedule, you'll see this word addendum. So in the first phase of our 90 days, we'll cover current affairs up to December and then addendum. This would go on parallelly. Just look at the schedule. We'll share the schedule with you. In that, you'll see along with these parts, you'll be covering current affairs also, subject-wise. And there is value in covering current affairs subject-wise. There is value in that. Why? Generally, people cover current affairs month-wise. Well, I would suggest that cover current affairs subject-wise, not month-wise. Why? Because certain current affairs tend to repeat themselves. Plus, you need to make these connections between different current affairs. That there was this Supreme Court ruling for governor. There was this Supreme Court ruling which was part of advisory jurisdiction. Both of these rulings have some connection. Now, one ruling came in July, one ruling came in October. You will be studying them separately. Why not study them in the polity portion? You'll be able to make these connections. Current affairs would become more clear to you. Hence, there is more value in covering current affairs subject-wise. So we'll do that. And remember, I am a big votary of MCQs. So every day when you'll cover current affairs, you'll practice 20 MCQs from that day also. So we have divided current affairs also in parts. We have divided current affairs into subjects, of course. But we have also divided them into parts. And every part will be revised by you daily, and then you'll practice 20 MCQs. So in one day, you'll be practicing 50 MCQs. And I'm excluding the Sunday test for now. In one day, 50 MCQs, and that is more than sufficient because you have to spend some time revising also. Yes, makes sense? Okay. So this is how we'll go about things. And trust me on this, if you follow this properly, by the end of 90 days, you will feel like a conqueror. Okay, dopamine would rush through your bloodstream, like I mentioned in the beginning. So 50 MCQs, which will cover current affairs, which will cover all your static portion, everything, and in a proper systematic manner. And in the end, round about after 85 or 83 days, well, you'll be giving full mock test. Full mock tests. Okay, at least 5 full mock tests from GS, 5 full mock tests from CSAT. CSAT is important. Make sense? This would be your schedule. This is the 90-day stuff, 90-day blueprint. It seems simple, but it is a little challenging. So you have to give your all, give your 100% following this. Because trust me, if you'll follow this to its very core, you will definitely clear the prelims examination. The condition is you have to follow my advice religiously. All right. So now the big question is, can we help you in this 90-day strategy? Can we do something about it? Of course we can. That's why I'm making this video. We will take care of everything. Whatever I just explained as far as this 90-day blueprint is concerned, well, we will take care of everything. Your scheduling, division into parts, giving you notes so that you don't have to refer to any other sources, giving you current affairs, compilations, MCQs, PYQs, tests, everything. We will take care of everything. You just have to follow the schedule rigidly, okay? I just got confused between the two words. Rigidly and religiously. You just have to follow it properly. Everything else would be taken care of by us, okay? Plus, we would enroll you in our WhatsApp groups. So while revising, you are bound to encounter some doubts. Ask your doubts in those WhatsApp groups and you'll immediately get a reply because all our faculty members would be in those WhatsApp groups. And those WhatsApp groups would be controlled properly, okay? No frivolous questions, doubts, academic questions, okay? You would be enrolled in those WhatsApp groups. Plus, every week we'll also meet because I personally feel that mentorship is really important. It's really important that someone guides you throughout the 90-day journey. It's really important. Though you have the entire schedule to yourself, but still you need that guidance every step of the way. Therefore, we would meet through Google Meet every week and sometimes 2 times in a week. Okay, so we will schedule it accordingly. But this mentorship, this hand holding would be there throughout this 90-day journey. Everything would be taken care of. And for this, you have to join our Phoenix batch. Okay, UPSC Prelims Phoenix batch. Now, some of you might be familiar with this mythical bird called Phoenix. Phoenix is like an eagle, a mythical bird which rises from its own ashes. Now, the reason why we named it Phoenix batch is because, well, currently those of you who feel that their preparation is in doldrums, it is in ashes, so to speak. Okay, well, you can rise from these ashes if you join this Phoenix batch. We will provide you with all the notes, current affairs, static, everything. So if you have your own notes, well and good. If you don't have notes for some subjects, we will provide you with all the notes, current affairs as well as, well, static portion. Okay, you'll get the schedule. That would be taken care of. You'll get the PYQs plus MCQs. Okay, and by the way, let me tell you, those 7,000 MCQs that I was talking about excludes PYQs. So if we add PYQs, it would be around 10,000 only. Okay, so these MCQs, topic-wise segregated MCQs, topic-wise segregated tests, full tests, everything. Plus, the most important component in my eyes, I personally feel, is mentorship. I and all my team would be sitting beside you. Just imagine that we are sitting beside you because you'll have WhatsApp access to us 24/7. We will meet through Google Meets. This would be there in this Phoenix batch. So you see, remember in the beginning, I told you that, well, go towards your goal, go for your targets with a sense of urgency, right? Not much time is left in prelims. Though it might feel that there is still time, 90 days might be enough or enough time. Well, it is not that enough. So take a call now, join Phoenix batch now. Because you see, successful people are successful because they take decisions. And unsuccessful people keep on thinking about decisions, keep on chewing them in their brain. So don't be unsuccessful. Don't chew these thoughts in your brain. Take action now. Dive straight in. Begin with Phoenix batch and let us help you out. You will help yourself out with some assistance from us clearing this prelims examination. So join Phoenix batch. Now to join Phoenix batch, what you have to do is Well, just give us a WhatsApp on this number. On this number that is flashing at the bottom of your screen, just write, I want to join Phoenix Batch. Just write this simple sentence and we will take it forward from there. Okay? So join now. Don't keep chewing on to these thoughts in your brain. Take action. Dive straight in. Let's begin and let's go. Let's make sure that we will crack prelims examination this time for sure, so that just after we give our prelims examination on that very day, D-Day, well, when we come back, we don't worry about cutoff. Our margin is so high that we don't worry about cutoff that much, and we begin our mains preparation from there itself. Then and there itself. Okay, so see you in our next Google Meet. See you in the class. Let's start with Phoenix Batch. Thank you, everyone.